I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Right, so after a few homework cock-ups, we're back to normal routine now, aren't we?
We're all over it now. Yep, it's
we
fine.
Are. So it's back to me to deliver our two truths, one lie statements in your direction this time.
Yes, I have to decide this week. Yes.
You do. And I don't... Do you know what? I'm reading mine again and going, I don't know if I'm as happy as I was when I wrote them. So...
Oh, they're not as good as you, not as difficult as you might hope.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a difficulty thing or just reading them going, I thought I did better. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Okay. We will.
So we're going into this, correct me if I'm wrong, the 5-3, isn't it?
To you, yes, because you didn't gain a point last week.
I did not. That is correct.
No. Yes.
So that's fine. Right. Okay. So we know we're at 5-3. You're guessing. Absolutely fine. No problem. Right. Just out of interest, was Sam utterly delighted?
Yes, he was. He was very pleased that he managed to stump you, and he has since come up with some more. So,
bloody hell, I can't believe you're outsourcing.
I am inadvertently outsourcing my homework.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, it worked, though, didn't it? It was worth it because it worked.
Yeah.
No, I've got statements in stock now. I've got weeks and weeks and weeks worth all stored up. So I don't actually have to do my homework for quite some time now.
That's right. I had to do mine rather hurriedly, so I've only got 3 to get us through this evening. So
that's okay. That's okay. You got another 2 weeks then.
Yeah, well, ish. We're gonna have to do something, aren't we? Well, because Numbnuts here is going to Le Mans, so we're gonna have to shoehorn something.
Oh, you are, aren't you? And that is, that's a bit of a week, that, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Yeah. Okay.
We might be able to get 2, and you never know. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll figure it out.
We will. We're awfully skilled. Very good. Right. Without further ado, have you got an implement or a keyboard or something ready?
I've got a keyboard and a place to type. Yeah, I'm all good.
Perfect. Right. So the Range Rover Velar has an optional rear seat recline function. The switch for this was first seen in the 1985 Ford Aero Granada.
A fine vehicle.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Range Rover Velar, rear seat recline switch from an 85 Aero Granada.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. I like that. I have to say, I'm very impressed with that one.
It's pervy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Right.
If it's true.
It's pervy nonetheless.
Yeah, that is true, actually. Yeah, that is true. To have specifically zeroed in on the Aero Granada as well, I like that. It's a nice touch.
So, statement 2. Despite it being French, the Venturi Atlantique did not use Citroen CX door mirrors.
Okay, did not use Citroen CX door mirrors. That's interesting. Okay. I remember the Venturi Atlantique. However, it's mirror. That's a start. Its mirrors are a complete mystery, but okay. Okay.
Statement 3. The Citroen Saxo was sold in Japan as the Citroen Chanson because Honda owned the Saxo name.
You're going to have to say its Japanese name again.
It's not an overly Japanese name. It's just Chanson, Chanson.
Oh, okay, just like it's okay, right? Okay, because Honda, you said, owns the Saxo name. Okay, interesting. Oh God, if I could type it would help, wouldn't it? Oh, right. Okay, don't know any of those, so let's have a think here now.
Go on them.
Range Rover, of course, from Land Rover, which was owned by Ford at one time, but not in the lifetime of the Velar. That's quite a modern vehicle.
It is.
Would they still be using old Ford switchgear, especially dating back to the mid-80s? I mean, that makes it very old. Why would they be doing that? Does that ring true? And specifically, the Aero Granada. See, now, I don't think the Aero Granada goes back as far as 1985. I think the 85 Granada would be the more boxy Cortina looking one. I don't think the Aero Granada goes back as far as 85.
Okay.
In fact, I'm pretty sure of that. Because I flatter myself, I'm quite familiar with the Ford range of that era because my dad used to bring home the brochures from when he was doing motoring journalism. And I'm almost positive the 85 Granada was not the Aero model. I think that came later.
I mean, I can make a noise if you like, but I
No, it's fine. You don't have to. No. I'm not asking. I'm thinking out loud. I'm not asking you to comment on that. I wouldn't expect you to. So, whether the Velar uses a Ford switch for its rear seat recline is one thing, but to say it's from an 85 Aero Granada, I don't think the 85 Aero Granada exists. I don't think it was. I think the Aero Granada came later. In fact, that shape originally was Scorpio, I believe, before it even became Granada. But it's certainly, certainly not. I don't think 85. I think it came later than that. So that's my thoughts on number one. Number two, Vietjet Leak not using CX door mirrors. That I have no clue. I genuinely have no idea. Does not use Citroen CX. See, again, that's very specific, isn't it? Does not use Citroen CX door mirrors. Okay. Well, it probably doesn't use Ford Fiesta door mirrors or Citroen 2CV door mirrors either. I mean, there's millions of door mirrors it probably doesn't use. Why specifically that? To say it does use Citroen CX door mirrors would be one thing, but to say it doesn't, there's hundreds of door mirrors it doesn't use.
The main reason for doesn't, I would say, is because those CX door mirrors were parts bin specials for everything.
Right, okay, they turned up everywhere. Right, okay.
Yes.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair. Yeah, I do remember the Atlantique. I remember it being covered on original Top Gear, believe it or not. I mean, that's quite a rare groove these days.
I mean, it was rare at the time, but now, blimey. I mean,
true. Yeah.
When I was at the Le Mans Classic in 23, they had, I don't know, there was about 6 of them in one place, and it's like that was quite a thing. They're still lovely looking things.
I don't really remember. Of course, I can't look it up. I don't quite remember what the Atlantique, if I could say it, looked like, but I do remember it was a very cool looking thing. Did not use Citroen CX Tourist. Okay. That one I think is going to have to be a guess. Not sure whether that's true or not. And of course, I've got to think the opposite way around with my weakened brain, because you're saying did not use rather than did use. So if it did not use them, then if it did, that statement would be false. Yeah, okay. I think I've got that. Okay, Saxo sold in Japan as the Chanson or Shanson, however you might pronounce that, because Honda owned the Saxo name. I mean, I have no idea of that. I mean, car manufacturers own different names all over the place, didn't we? What did we found a Ford the other week, didn't we? In one of my questions.
Oh yes, that does ring a bell.
Which was using a name that we associate with another manufacturer. I forget what that was now. We should really be have been keeping all these written down so that we can publish a book one day.
No, one day.
Yeah,
I think Mr. Porter beat us to it, because I swear
he probably did. I suspect most of these are in one of his books. Yes. Saxo sold in Japan as the Shan. Again, I just don't know. It's a funny old name. I don't know where that would come from. Or why. But then, makes of, you get funny names all over the place, don't you?
Well,
okay. Well, I'm going to have to make a decision here. The thing that's stumping me about number one is that I am positive the 85 Granada was not the Aero model. That's what's throwing me off that. I'd be happy to accept it might use old Ford switchgear, although that is very old. But I don't know exactly when the Granada got that facelift, but I'm sure it wasn't as early as 85. That's what's stumping me on that one. And the Atlantic did not use Citroen CX dual mirrors. I have no idea. But the fact that you've said did not use does make me question that one. And the Saxo, I've no idea. Okay, I'm going to have to decide here, aren't I? I can't faff about with this for too much long.
Yeah, we are very much in the shit will get off the pot, aren't you?
We are really, aren't we? Yeah, okay.
I'm going to open a beer while you think about it.
I'm going to have another swig of cider. Because I think I need it for this one.
Come on then.
I could be misremembering the Aero Granada. I don't think I am, but I could be. And Land Rover was owned by Ford. They might still be using some Ford stuff. It's not inconceivable. I'm just struggling with the fact that I don't think the 85 Granada was the Aero model. But I'm wary of your wording of number two. Rather than saying did use, you said did not use.
Yes, well, like I said, parts have been special.
Well, quite. But you're indicating that, in fact, on that particular component, that was not the case. Am I confident enough in my knowledge of old Ford design to call foul on number one? Okay. No, I'm not. I'm going to say, because I can't quite remember. I can't quite remember when the Granada got a facelift. I'm really sure it wasn't 85, but I'm wearing number two. All right, this might cost me another point, but I'm going to say true, false, true.
True, false, true. So just to clarify, true, the Velar did use the switch from the Aero Granada, first seen in 85, for its rear seat recline function. False, the Venturi Atlantic did not use Citroen CX door mirrors. And true, the Citroen Saxo was sold in Japan as the Citroen Chanson or Chanson, whatever.
Yeah, that's a total guess. I don't know that at all. Well, that could be total bobbins. I genuinely don't know.
So here we go. Here we go. What do we reckon?
God.
What do we reckon? Some form of drum roll, and I can reveal that you are correct.
All right. I was so sure the 85 Granada was not an Aero.
So, to confirm on that point, in April of 85, the third generation of Granada arrived. It was and only badged as Granada in Ireland and the UK. It was Scorpio everywhere else.
I thought I did mention that, didn't I? Yeah, okay.
Yep. So
wow, I genuinely didn't think that was as early as 85. I thought that came later.
No, that was an 85 car, and it ran till 94.
Mind you, I suppose Sierra appeared in 82, and that was obviously a very radical aero shape. So I suppose it's not inconceivable that on the back of the success of Sierra, they would do it to Granada. But I genuinely thought it was later than that. I'm amazed Range Rover. I'm partly amazed that Range Rover is still using such old stuff.
Yes. I mean, you say you're amazed. You're not really, are you?
No, that's why I mean I'm partly amazed. I was sort of amazed, and then I thought, actually...
Not really. Not now I think about it.
Now I think about it, no, actually, they probably are, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah. So, the Venturi Atlantique did actually use Citroen CX door mirrors.
See, it was your wording of that question that made me.
So the reason I went down that route is let me give you a list, shall I, of cars that actually used it. So, the AC Ace, the Aston Martin DB7, the Aston Martin Vantage, the Aston Martin Virage, obviously the Citroen CX, the Jaguar XJ220, the Lotus Esprit, the Lotus XL, the Marcos Mantis, the Marcos Mantera, the Marcos Mantaray, the Renault Sport Spider, TVR Chimera, TVR Griffith, TVR S3, TVR S4, and the Venturi Atlantique.
The Lotus and the TVR doesn't surprise me at all because we know they're part spin specials. But wow, that is why. See, it's because you said did not use. That's what made me think. That's a funny thing to say because there are hundreds of mirrors it did not use.
it's the mirror of choice if you're building a low volume car because it's quite aerodynamic.
Right, and it can sort of go with anything. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I was relying on the fact that you had the same mirror pervy knowledge that I do.
I did not. It was your wording of that statement that made me question it.
That's fine. The Citroen Saxo was indeed sold in Japan as the Citroen Chanson because Honda did indeed own the name Saxo, and just for reference, chanson or chanson, however bloody hell you say it, is the French word for song.
Okay, well that makes perfect sense then.
Yeah, I don't really know why, but there you go. I wanted to make sure that we back it up with all the facts. You see.
No, that's good. It's good. We need a little explanation after these. That's important to, as you say, back them up with facts. Well, how about that? That's we've closed the numbers up a little bit there.
We have. So we've reached 5-4.
You're only one ahead now. Oh, everything to play for next week.
Well, quite. Yes.
Good questions. Good questions. Because that really made me... I was so sure the 85 Granada wasn't the Aero. I thought it was later than that. That's very good. I like that.
little bit
Yeah.
of pervy there for you.
If you had said Venturi Atlantic, I still can't say it. Used a different kind of door mirror, I maybe wouldn't have questioned it so much. It was the fact that you said did not use. I thought, well, yeah, there's hundreds of mirrors it didn't use.
Well, I was just, like I said, just hedging my bets on the fact that everyone, their mum used those, so it'd be interesting to go, no, I didn't use those. And
Yeah.
just for reference, so that you can see them, this is, I do believe, the Switch in question.
Yeah, you've gone deep on that.
So
Okay.
yes, you can quite easily see that in an 80s Ford, can't you?
Oh, that's a very Ford Switch, isn't it? Yes, that's a
Yep.
very Ford Switch. Yes.
Yeah. We'll
Very good.
We'll pop that in the Discord when the episode airs, so you can all.
Oh, people will love a bit of that. Yeah, and there's even a diagram as to how the seat reclines. That's excellent.
Yes, how one
well
reclines one's rear seat in a Velar.
Yes. Well, I'm unlikely to ever do that, I would suggest. But
yeah, I can't see any of us buying a Velar at any point.
No, don't think so.
It's
No, Range Rover maybe, but not a Velar.
Yeah, certainly not a new Range Rover as well. Let's just say that as well.
Oh no! Well, no, not made of money.
Quite. Yeah, some ancient one that's battered. Yeah, you can see that.
Oh yeah, that's a distinct possibility, but
yeah,
certainly not a new one.
No, that's a given. Fine. So that was good. That was good. Enjoyed that.
Well done. Well done.
So next question is, where can we pick up where we left off last week with the tyre drama?
What's a tyre drama? Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, we did. We were talking about that, weren't we? Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Where did we leave it? I can't remember.
So we recorded a day early, so it was a Wednesday. It all unfolded, and you'd been back to the tyre fitters a second time, and they'd told you, "Nah, mate, there's still an hole in it," and you had to pick up proceedings the following morning. And I've specifically not asked you about this so that I get fresh information on air.
Okay, very good. Yes, that's right. So yes, so the following morning, I contacted the scary welding man and said, "Oh, they say it's still got a hole in it." So that's right, and he said, "Okay, bring it back in. I'll another go at it." So I get back in and go back down his bumpy little lane, risking all my other tyres doing that. Indeed. So I got back in there, and there he was actually out the front talking to a chap who, this was quite a little side story, but quite interesting or amusing. There was an old chap out the front who had pulled up in a little sky blue. I'm not entirely sure what it was. It might have been like a Daihatsu or something. It was one of those cars that's basically a box with a tiny little wheel in each corner.
Hmm.
You know the sort of thing?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. It probably a South Korean car, but dating back to before they were any good. You know the sort of era I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And what he was basically asking my welding chap there, can you bung a tow bar on it?
A tow bar?
Yeah, he wanted a tow bar on it.
Wow.
And the guy was saying, "I'm really not," to his credit, "I'm really not sure about that, sir. It's they don't think this was ever designed to take a tow bar. Would you want to pull with it? Is it fairly heavily laden trailer? I really don't think that's a good idea."
I mean, it'd be fascinating to watch, wouldn't it?
But he was this chap was very insistent. I thought, I really need it doing today. He said, "Oh well, I really don't think I'm not sure I'm the man for that. Not sure we can do that really. The car isn't really designed for a tow. Of course, we're really busy. Look, I've got people waiting. Look, this chap's just turned up, and I really don't think I could. But if you go a bit further up the lane, the chap in the shed at the end there, he'll sort you out. He's not fussed about what he does. If you go and see him,
For goodness sake, there's always someone, isn't there?
he'll do it, I'm sure. He'll probably do it now while you wait.
Yeah.
So when he climbed and off he went up the bumpy lane. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway,
Right.
So anyway, chap took my wheel in and said, "Oh, it's tricky with these being aluminium, and of course it's all porous, and I'm not sure." Oh, okay, yeah, let me have a go. So off he went with it, and I was standing out the front, and there was this just waiting around there for a minute while he does sizzling in the back somewhere, and there was a Fiat camper van parked in the sort of garage bay that was open that I went in through, and on the back of it there was a sticker that said "Adventure before dementia." I thought that was quite enjoyed that. Quite good that. So anyway, out he came after a little while and said, "Right, okay, I've blasted it again and ground back the inside, and I obviously he couldn't test it because he can't put a tyre on it." So, so yeah, all done. They said, "Here you go, mate. It's a bit hot."
Good.
I imagine it would be.
Yeah, that'll be the welding, you see.
Yeah, well, even I know that. So yeah, off I went back to my car, and then back to the tyre shop, and they were, as they usually are, absolutely rammed. So I had to wait a little bit, and then they got the signal, yeah, bring it in. So in I go, gave them the wheel, and then waited and waited and waited and waited. And then eventually the little man comes back with my wheel with a tyre on it saying, "Yeah, all good now." So
thank goodness for that.
So they fitted it back on and took my spare off, and I was on my happy way.
Good. You've got 4 wheels on your wagon again.
All sorted, and it has held air to the correct amount all week. And the car has been used this week quite a bit. So
good. So that's all right. Tick that one off then. Perfect.
So I think we're okay now. We're okay now. But I will be keeping the number of the welding chap because he was very good, and the people knocking around his garage were most amusing as well. So.
Yeah, it's always handy to know these sort of people. No, that's good. I'm glad you got it sorted because that sounded like a pain in the ass.
It was a bit of a faff, yes. Far too much time wasted on that, but all got sorted in the end. But there was quite a few treats in the undergrowth around the welding chaps unit. Including a very sorry-looking X-Type estate, which I always like to see an X-Type estate, as you know.
I do know that, but I also know that you don't want one because that would be silly.
It would be silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The first part of your statement, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but it would be silly. I agree.
No, I think in your heart of hearts, you do not want one.
It depends on the size of the collection we're building. Let's put it like that.
It's a way down the list, isn't it? There we go. There's a few other things to tick off first.
Yes. Now, on the subject of building a collection, a conversation broke out here the other night.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. You got to watch it. And I was asked by my good lady that if you could have 3 cars and only 3 cars, and budget is no object, what would you have?
Oh, I see.
I thought now that was something clearly. That was a question that, as you will understand, I take very seriously.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
oh, gotcha.
That's not an issue to mess around with. There's that you need to really take a moment and think about that. And she also answered the same question herself. So this was a very interesting conversation. Would you like to know, if I can remember, what we ended up with?
I would like to know.
Because I think we must have done this at some point on the podcast, but it might be worth updating, and I might ask you after I've revealed ours to maybe give a few minutes thought to your own. So be working on that.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, I ended up with. So I thought, right, well, one of them's got to be a practical daily because it just does, and then the other two can be more fun. So this is what I ended up with for mine. So my practical daily was a Porsche Taycan Sport Turismo.
Okay.
The estate version for those who are unfamiliar. Yeah. My second was a Jaguar F-Type R. F-Type, not S-Type. I decided after much argy-bargy. And then number 3 would have to be a DeLorean.
I see.
So that's my no budget 3 that I ended up with: a Porsche, a Jag, and a DeLorean. Because there has to be a Jag, and the no budget opportunity to get a DeLorean, I'd have to do that. And I'd probably want my practical daily to be an estate car and probably electric. So that kind of leaves me with the Taycan.
Yeah, it's limited options, isn't it? But yeah, no, that's good. What did Dawn pick?
Well, and I'm now struggling to remember, but I know what her daily was. A 5EV.
Okay.
I think we can all get on board with that.
Yep.
Now, can my memory, you might need to edit this a bit, can my memory pluck out, I might need to go in the other room and ask her. I've just genuinely forgotten. What was her other 2? The second one actually might have been I think the second one might have been what she's got, but the latest version. So it might have. I think it was an MX-5.
Okay.
But the current model.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hang on. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I tell a lie. It was. No, we discussed that. I tell a lie. I withdraw that. No, number 2 was the. That's right. It was the MG Cyberster. Because her top 2 were both EVs. So that was those 2. Knackered if I can remember what the third one was. Let me message her.
That is. That is bold, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I can get completely on board with the 5 as your everyday car. But the Cyberster I thought was an interesting choice.
Yes, that's not one I was expecting. If I'm honest.
No, absolutely. Okay, she's just replying. We'll have the details for you in just a moment.
Waiting on that. Fine. Okay,
yeah.
so I've been mulling mine over while you've been talking.
You've not had a lot of notice here, but off the top of your head.
Yeah, off the top of my head, this could be subject to change, but if you sort of said now, I go right, practical car, yes, required. So, if we're having a practical car, it's going to be an estate, and
yes,
I think after much. But I went German and I was umming and ahhing. Let's face it. Well, it's to be expected, isn't it?
It is really. Yeah, it is.
So I'd have an RS6 Avant, C5 variant, think layer cake.
Yeah.
Somebody's
gonna get a slap. Yeah, that sort of thing. Yes.
That's the one for me.
Okay.
Because I think it's understated, a proper sleeper, take your face off, and you can do a good tip run in it.
And that's what you want from it, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So I'd have that. I think in terms of the other vehicles, I'm going to be pinning it down to very specific models. So I'm going to have a 911. If you're making me pick now, I would say I'll have a Gen 1 997 GT3 RS.
Hey. See, if there's a 911 involved, you're going to be really specific, aren't you?
Yeah, so I've pinned it down to that one. I'll probably have it in black with orange accents, please.
I was going to have my Taycan in green.
Lovely. And if we're going to go with a third option, I'm going to have something Japanese and ridiculous. So, and money's no object here, is it? This is out of the question. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right. You don't have to worry about the money.
I will have an R33 Nissan Skyline GTR Nismo 400R. Yes.
Okay, that's very specific.
Yeah,
I knew there'd be something Japanese for you.
Yeah, it is very specific, and it was very important to clarify that there was not a budget involved, because this is a Skyline that changes hands in 7 figures now.
Yeah, so budget can't be an issue with that.
No, but there you go.
That's a discerning choice. I have Dawn's third car now.
Okay.
So we had the Renault 5 EV, we had a Cyberster. Her third choice was a 911. Now, she didn't know which one, but it had to be a manual.
Oh, that's fine.
And 4-wheel drive.
God, we're pinning it down to specifics, so that's fine. So, I think the only thing to clarify at that point then is, does she want water-cooled or air-cooled?
I don't. I don't know.
That's the only bit that we need to just double check there.
Okay, what would you recommend? Because that would probably be her response. So what does Adam say? He knows about Porsches.
Oh dear. Well, it comes down to visuals, I think. Does she want a more modern-looking one or an older-looking one? Because that's a better way to try and pin it down for
probably old. Probably old.
Okay. So we're gonna want something vaguely water cooled, then, don't we? Air cooled. So in terms of 4-wheel drive, where would we want to be? So you could go sort of right in the middle, go 964. Get a C4.
Well, it's a solid choice, isn't it?
Yeah, or you can go 993. Those are your two solid options for air-cooled.
Okay.
Well, actually, you could. There is a very specific one. There is the 30th anniversary version, which is a Carrera 4, which was in 964 spec. So it was, four-wheel drive version, and it was a commemoration model. So it was offered. I think it was in a few colours, but the one I've seen is, it's purple, but it's amethyst, is what they call it, and it's just like deep.
Oh, she'd like that. She'd like that.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right,
she'd
there you
like
go.
that.
That's the one then.
That's the one then. So that's her three: Renault 5, Cyberster, and the 911.
Yeah, let's see if we can find one, shall we? 964.
It doesn't take much for you to go searching for a 911, does it?
30th anniversary C4. Purple. I think that's what that means. Some of this is in English, some of it is not.
That can happen.
No, I'm afraid this one is reserved, but nonetheless, this is the car I refer to. There we go.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, look at yeah, she'd love that. Yeah, she'd be all over that. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, she'd love the colour. She'd love that colour. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Four-wheel drive, manual, tremendous colour, air-cooled. Perfection.
Well, we've nailed that, haven't we? There we go.
Yeah, it's got, and it's the right engine you want as well, because it's the later 964, so it's a 3.6 litre as well. Glorious.
I would predict the poor old Cyberster's not going to get a lot of use.
No, if you've got one of those kicking about.
And a Renault 5 for every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. That was easy, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Well done.
It down to a really pervy model. I don't know how much they actually go for. I bet it's a lot.
I would think, but the purpose of this was money, no object, so...
No. I don't know how...
Isn't that interesting that we've all picked Porsche?
Well, it's correct, isn't it?
It would appear so. Yes.
It's, it's the way to do it, isn't it? Let's face it.
It would appear so, yes.
Well, I think you're all learning. That's the main thing.
It's growth, isn't it? It's all about growth and and moving forwards with things. So there you go. Thank you very much. Well done. Good,
that's all right. I'll tell you what.
Very good.
Chuck her that link and let me know what she says. That'd be.
I will
follow up on next week because I think see if that does butter the parsnips.
Oh, yeah, but the colour certainly will. Yeah, that is spot on.
Excellent.
May I touch on something which is not from any of the manufacturers that we've mentioned on those lists?
Okay, go on then.
A little story that I saw that I feel we do need to just touch on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of Ford Focus production, which is coming in November this year.
Oh, I see. Hang on. Just to clarify, that's the whole lot, isn't it? And this not
Correct.
A name that's continuing, is it?
Nope. No, the end of Focus will happen in November this year. They are closing the order book for the Focus ST now. They have all their production slots full for the rest of ST production, but the Focus in general, as in all models of the Focus, will end in November.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So that's another very successful name gone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
With nothing to replace it.
I don't worry, there'll be an SUV.
Oh, you probably, yeah. Probably another one.
Oh, I keep seeing the same. Well, it's the same two. Keep seeing the same Explorer and the same Capri doing the rounds.
I saw a pale blue Explorer this week. I don't know if it's the same one you've been seeing.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. The end of the Focus. After 28 years, no more Focus.
Well, yeah, because no one wanted those.
Oh no, terrible disaster. Yes. That didn't sell. No.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Right. I don't know what they're doing. What are they thinking? Let's just take away all the cars.
I don't understand. They used to, as we've touched on before, they used to have such a well-defined range, and I don't understand the current lineup. They're all the same.
All just blurs into one ball of shit.
It does. I thought that needed commenting on, that the Focus was dying.
You're right to comment on it, because we've now lost the Fiesta. We've now lost the Focus. It's just...
Yeah, we've lost Mondeo.
Yeah. It's got a pot, isn't it?
It's all just gone, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't... And I was talking to my dad about this earlier, and of course he is a serial Ford buyer, as we have covered, and and he's coming back on again very soon.
Yes, I'm so
we need
sorry.
to pull our fingers out and organise that, but he is coming back on again with more talk of American vehicles this time. But as we know, he is a serial Ford buyer, and I asked him earlier. I said, "Well, Focus coming to an end, and he has a Focus." What would you buy? And he said, if I needed to buy a car now in a hurry, if I needed something to go out and buy a car straight away, genuinely don't know what I'd have. And he said, the Tesla Model Y is a possibility. He quite likes the look of the new version, but it's overpriced. And comes with the new £40,000 luxury car tax. Doesn't particularly like what the French are doing. He thinks Kias are quite attractive, but they're all a bit too big. It's just that he genuinely doesn't know what he would do. All the sorts of cars that he has bought over the decades just don't exist anymore. And of course, he tows a caravan, and you'll make comments about pooing in a bucket, and
quite yes.
But he does nevertheless, and that of course restricts his choice. He's just not. He genuinely doesn't know what he would buy, and he's not. He's not overly. Although he's always bought Fords, he's not overly married to a particular brand. If someone else were to come along with the right thing, he would seriously consider it. But there just kind of isn't anything that's meeting his needs anymore, and that's just really sad.
Well, I could weigh in here.
You could.
I could. If
stop towing a caravan.
No, I can't stop him doing that. But what I'm going to suggest is I think what he would be delighted with, I think he should buy a 3 Series Touring X-Drive.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's of a similar size. It'll tow anything he needs to.
I should clarify, he's not looking to buy a new car. This is a hypothetical if he did. If he was...
If he did, he should buy one of those, because you sit him in a modern-ish BMW and he'll be so happy, because the tech in it is not dominating. He wouldn't feel off-put by it. It's really easy to use. It's very comfortable. It's got all the creature comforts, and that will drag anything that he desires to put behind it.
Yes, I mean he has quite a small caravan. It is only him, and it's not, it's by modern caravan standards, it's quite lightweight, but it still requires more towing capacity than most EVs have. That's the problem. And the thing that's put him off at towing with an EV is the fact that in almost every case you've got to unhitch it in order to charge.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And there aren't many of the sites he goes to that he could get to without at least one charging stop. So you've got to unhook the caravan, stick it in a space somewhere, hope nobody nicks it, go and charge, then come back, hook it up again. It's just too much faff.
Oh, it's faff. Yeah, I'll grant you that is rather silly.
Major faff that he's just not prepared to do. And whilst there are more drive-through chargers appearing, they are quite few and far between.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think he's right to take the stance he's taking because, it's just silly, isn't it?
Well, for the meantime, he is continuing with his diesel Focus. But it was just a hypothetical question I thought I'd throw at him and say, with the Focus gone or going, if you had to go out and buy a new car now, what would you have? And he's genuine. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. There's nothing out there that particularly grabs me. But like you say, maybe he's not considering BMW. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's exactly the one he should consider.
Ooh, very good. Okay, well, he will listen to this, and I'm sure will offer an opinion.
I'm sure he will. I make sure it's the right one. Very good. Well, that was excellent. Well, I think we tackled all things car there. We didn't deviate too much. We didn't dwell on shitting in a bucket in a cupboard. It's fine. Yeah.
No, well, we try not to do that very much.
No, I want no part of it. And I specifically didn't regale you with any of my camping stories, so that's fine.
Oh, you didn't. That's true. You have been under canvas, haven't you? Yes.
Oh yeah, let's not dwell on that. Christ. Cool. All right, we shall revisit next week, where I shall try and claw ahead again. Well, I'm still ahead, but I'd like to be ahead more.
Oh, only just. I'm gaining on you. Gaining on you now. I'm looming in your rearview mirror there.
Oh dear, no, can't have that.
No one needs that.
No, I'm stretching for the lead.
Foot hard down.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.